Good morning, afternoon, or evening, everyone. My name is Elivaras, and a lot of you may know me as a senior player moderator for League of Angels Fire Raiders. So I've come to you today after a long break, which is for various reasons, mostly school and then vacation with my grandparents and my family, to kind of bring you a channel update or a direction that the channel will be taking in the future. So I've kind of lost interest in the game League of Angels Fire Raiders, and this is for a few reasons. Firstly, I've been playing the game for a while, and eventually you just kind of get burnt out with a game as a whole, and that's starting to happen with League of Angels Fire Raiders, just because I've been playing it for so long. So there's that, and then there's the other reasons of well, this is kind of a big reason, but the direction the game is taking is not a good direction. And I'm kind of saying this from two different perspectives. First, as a player of the game, and second, as a moderator. So let's first delve into as a player. So, as just a player playing this game, looking in, from a free-to-play perspective, the devs started off very, very good, or the game itself started off very, very good. It was very free-to-play friendly. It did a lot of things differently than other similar games at the time, such as, free-to-play players having a lot of, or being able to just about get everything that a pay-to-play player can get, and they can still compete, because a pay-to-play player would just get something a little faster, maybe by like a few weeks, a month or so, but they wouldn't be so grossly overpowered with the new hero that it would be impossible for a free-to-play player to compete. However, that has changed, and especially with the introduction of the Paragon heroes, things have changed quite drastically and for the worse, I would say. So the big problems I see is specifically the turning point had to be the Paragon heroes. When they started introducing heroes that you could max out instantly by just putting down like $50 as a pay-to-play player. And starting with these, the game really turned in a free-to-play unfriendly way. And you may say Elivaras, they shouldn't be catering to free-to-play players because they're not spending any money. That is very true, but the big problem is that, yes, the pay-to-play players are the one who's spending money, but they need people to beat. That's why they're paying, because they want to be the best. And when there's no free-to-play players playing, there's no one to beat, and the game gets boring very quickly. And that leads to a loss of pay-to-play players. And, well, first it starts off with the loss of free-to-play players, then the loss of pay-to-play players, and then resulting loss in revenue, leading to what we see now where you've got, like, 8 recharge events and 4 normal events. It feels like the company is going bankrupt. There's so many recharge events. But that can't be true, because you see individual players spending more than $20,000 on this game, which is absolutely ridiculous. But with just individual players spending that much, and then the rest of the player base who's spending less, they've got to be rolling in cash, especially with the lack of devs and lack of a team they seem to have, especially looking from a support perspective. And this is going into a kind of my moderator perspective, where the game's got basically a non-existent in-game support anyways. Like, there's like no in-game support. There's a few guys, they're off all the time, and they take like a week to respond when they are there, and when they do respond, it's like they don't know enough English to understand what you're actually saying. Like, you say something and they respond with a question, like, and then you're like, did you even read my post? And it takes them like a month to help you, and then when they do help you, it's hardly even help half the time. The only real support was where I worked with my superior, who's part of the company, and that was on the forums. That's where we'd actually help people, and that was really the only support we had, and a lot of that's just from community volunteers. Like, when a company doesn't have enough to employ staff to actually make a decent support, with all the money they're gaining, it feels like they would have way more to spend on actual good employees, but it seems like it's just going into their pockets, is what it feels like. And The big point, I think, from a moderator perspective was first, yes, the lack of support, but second, the huge issue of when the company makes a mistake. So the first big mistake was the Talabata event back a few months, probably 7 months ago or so, where there was a mistake and it offered one of the event rewards offered 77 large runestones for like 1,000 diamonds instead of 77 like small runestones or something like that. And it was like this for about an hour, and a few people caught on to it, and they immediately, you know, exchanged diamonds to get these. But then an hour later, the company goes ahead and changes it. And they're like, oh, this was a mistake, we have to take this back, we have to revert it. You cannot do this. This is detrimental to the game. You cannot. If you make a mistake like this, you can absolutely, under no circumstances, change the rewards, because as soon as you change the rewards, there's a huge community backlash, because you have that group of like 20 people who managed to take advantage of this event and get all this amazing stuff, and then you have the rest of the community who's ticked off because they weren't on for that 1 hour when they could have gotten all that amazing stuff, and the company went ahead and changed it, and there's no way for them to get it back. And that leads into the point of the company's compensation. First of all, they don't have the tech, or it doesn't seem like they have the tech, or they don't want to put in the work to figure out who exactly was affected by these mistakes. Therefore, when they send out compensation, they send it to everyone, which is basically not compensation, because compensation should be to specific individuals who were affected negatively. You should not be sending compensation to the people who benefited. And this leads to the compensation being like 500 diamonds or something as low as that, which is ridiculous and doesn't really help anyone. So yeah, numerous reasons for really not playing this game anymore and not really enjoying my time in the game. And that brings me to kind of the direction I want to take the channel. And the direction I'm looking to take this channel is to kind of focus on games that I really enjoy playing and want to play. So, for example, the new game I got, Total War Warhammer, that I'm having so much fun playing. You know, I want to be able to get out of bed and say, I want to make a video today on a game I want to play. If I'm making videos on games I don't want to play, it's just not enjoyable at all. I'm going to be making worse content because of it, and I'm not even going to enjoy the time I'm spending making that content. I do understand that a lot of you guys subscribed to see my League of Angels Fire Raiders content, and I will totally understand if you unsubscribe because of this. If I came just to see that, I would unsubscribe too. So, go ahead. If that's all you wanted to see, then you may go ahead and unsubscribe. I won't be offended because I'll understand. But, that said, for the rest of you who want to stick around, I'm going to be doing a, starting with Total War Warhammer, which you should see some footage of in the background. I'm starting with that game, and I'm hoping to, you know, kind of expand my channel into lots of different games instead of just one singular game, because me as a person tends to lose interest in games after playing for a while, and if I have a whole channel devoted around a singular game, that's a huge problem. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Cheers, guys.